This is Koenigsegg, one of the most insane car companies on the planet. And it all started back in 1994 when a young 22-year-old named Christian von Koenigsegg had a crazy idea. Build the perfect supercar from scratch in Sweden of all places. No big backing, no legacy brand, just obsession. Fast forward to today, and Koenigsegg builds some of the fastest, most advanced hypercars in the world. Cars that completely ignore all the rules, kind of like DDE. And for us, this isn't just another factory tour. This is one of Damon's ultimate dream cars. So being here, inside Koenigsegg, this is a full circle moment. Let's go see how these cars are actually made.
We're good.
You were just gonna DM?
You read the message.
Koenigsegg, Koenigsegg, Koenigsegg.
Holy crap. Is that the Jesko or the Sedair Spear?
It's Sedair Spear.
That's crazy.
Oh, drive up here?
No.
No, I'm gonna drive up. I'm gonna leave.
Go
right
across the
there.
lawn.
We can walk over there. It says prototype, so you can't put that on the road here. But in Florida, anything is possible.
Oh, welcome to Koenigsegg here in Sweden.
This is insane, man.
Christian's right behind you, I'm not even joking. Hey, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Dave, nice to meet you.
Yeah, it's vacation today, as you know, so it's kind of empty. We have like 3 or 4 guys in, but yeah, we'll make the best out of it.
Thank you.
We tried to go as fast as we could, but these G classes are not very aerodynamic. So
What do you got up here?
So we just lined up a few cars for you.
Man, this thing is gorgeous with the bigger wing and everything. It's amazing.
It basically matches a car like a Valkyrie around the track, but you have like amplifier, 6 speakers, detachable roof, robotized bodywork. You can speak in it.
It's so cool.
It's just crazy what it can do.
Beautiful car.
Thank you.
It's similar to your shop. If your shop had like a living wall and like another $50 million poured into it.
yeah, and it didn't have like parts all over the floor, broken cars everywhere.
Look at that.
Wow.
You can buy another one.
That's warmer in here.
Now it's dark here, but we have 2 dynos here to dyno test the production units. Then we have 2 development dynos in the other part of the building. And then we have gearbox dynos here. We have 6 build stations for engines and 6 build stations for gearboxes. We can build 1 engine or 1 gearbox per person per week. This turbo setup can do quite a lot more than 1600 horsepower.
So I'm guessing you're using forged pistons and rods.
We can have a look over here.
Oh yeah.
He's like, yeah, just over to the workbench and there you go.
Oh, that's cool.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
And you can see what it says here. We were working with titanium connector rods for a while, but we had some fretting issues, so we decided to go into the highest grade steel we could find. On the equivalent of 91 octane fuel, we get almost 1300 horsepower from a 5 liter with 4 catalytic converters.
That's actually like literally insane.
It is, right? From a 5 liter. 11 to 1 and close to 11 to 1. It's like 10.8 or something.
That's like the type of stuff that you ask for that everyone says is impossible to do.
We recommend everyone to run on 93 and in Europe 98, but we do all the tuning and setup on 95, European 95, which is equivalent to 91 euros.
If you put in 98, will it will it adjust any knock strategies?
No, well, we have ion sensing, knock detection. We kind of don't push the power more than we do on 95 or 91. We just put that extra safety margin in. So.
Flex fuel. They run ethanol.
Yeah, exactly. We have that as well. So there's a here is
is that the ion sensor.
Exactly.
This is it right here.
So usually cars have like knock sensors, which are these little like piezoelectric elements, but like
Basically
ion
microphones.
sensing. Yeah, microphones.
Yeah, I play with them all the time.
Ion sensing.
Yeah, it's all in the ignition coil.
Yeah.
That's super cool. I've never seen that in a production car. That gave you goosebumps. That's nuts.
What gives me goosebumps is this 1300 horsepower on 91.
Oh yeah.
So let's pretend I had a McLaren being built right now and I asked for 1300 horsepower on 91. I would be told I could get 800.
This is the Gemera turbo. So this one has integrated wastegate, integrated blow-off valve, and then mirrored, and then also water-cooled. This brand is called, the turbo brand is Vanderlia, but that's,
I mean,
that's
like
probably
these,
Bosch,
yeah.
exactly.
The tin on these can come apart with lots of actuations.
Right.
And it actually breaks right here.
That's good.
So,
good information.
Yeah, like right there, and then it comes apart. So a lot of the McLaren GT4 cars, they have issues with that, and obviously because they're going in and out.
You think it might be how you operate them, how hard you pull them shut, perhaps?
It could be because I know that they can run higher boost and they're on and off. But for me, I'm going to reinforce this just
This area. Okay. Yeah, cool. It's good advice.
I'm not trying to give you advice. I'm just saying, just like maybe a word of, that wastegate is, wow, that is huge.
Here's a used Inconel 3D printed exhaust manifold. So
that's all 3D printed.
Yes, and the wastegate comes off of here. And this wastegate was originally developed for 24-hour Le Mans, so it's also Inconel titanium.
Wow.
Crazy expensive thing.
That's so cool. That's 3D printed.
Very organically shaped. You kind of have Cobra turns to reduce back pressure. It's kind of the same or lower than our boost level.
Wow. I guess you wouldn't have any real hot spots because you're adjusting for flow and volume at the same time. Just that alone, to develop that.
Right.
That's
how I would have designed it.
Yeah.
Is that how you do it?
I mean, I
was thinking of you.
Couldn't agree more.
I saw this, I'm like, this is the Damon looked like he made this.
Hurts my brain sometimes when they talk. You know that, right?
Yes.
The four-seater hypercar, the Gemera, is going to have 2,300 horsepower.
That's the ultimate gumball car.
That is the ultimate gumball car.
Everything is, of course, about flow and low restrictions on. This is a 3D printed thermostat.
Wow. Damn. That's a really cool, finishing.
It's aluminum?
It's aluminum, yes, 3D printed.
You got to love the fact that, Christian knows literally everything about his car.
Yeah.
Well, more or less. I know pretty much everything. I stay abreast and, of course, involved in all the development. I mean, this is the water pump, hydrodynamically refined to flow as much as it can. It's machined.
How do you connect the lines together? Are they like AN fittings? Or
This type of connector.
Oh, that's really cool. I like that.
So it's got this cam that raises with a higher pitch degree than the thread. So you have to fight really to undo it, and it sort of can't undo itself.
Man, taking apart a P1 harness, it's wiring mess. It's one piece. So.
And here we have the Lightspeed tourbillon transmission.
Wow.
Of course, we introduced this before Bugatti introduced the tourbillon.
Right.
So we didn't name it after that car. I just thought it was like an advanced Swiss watch, this thing. So this is the Lightspeed transmission of the Jesko and the CCF50, and this is the Lightspeed tourbillon, as it has torque vectoring as well, and wraps around the engine to be able to fit the V8 in the Gemera.
Yeah, the engineering and the stuff that you guys introduced to the automotive world is just on another level. Is it dark matter?
We can go and have a look at that as well. Here you can see these are all castings. This is for the LSTG, so it's just so intricate.
And it's like jewelry.
Yeah, it's like jewelry.
It's so nice.
This is exactly the way it is at my shop, except everything's covered in oil.
And burnt.
Yeah, and burnt, yeah.
So this is how small the transmission is in the Jesko and the CCA50.
Jeez.
This takes, we've tried this up to 1800 Newton meters, whatever that is in foot-pounds.
This is the jewelry side.
Holy.
There is no forks or anything. You can say there's a super mega synchro on each gear that locks the gear to the shaft.
Is it nitrogen filled and it has a rubber bladder in there?
It's got a rubber bladder, so that's for the hydraulic system too.
Again, really, really geeky. Have you thought about using a piston-based hydraulic accumulator versus one of these?
Right.
Yeah, it's good, but
we never
over
had
time.
any issues with this.
Oh, really? Okay.
Never ever. So if we would have an issue, maybe we would do something like that.
Yeah.
But never broke one ever. Never thought about doing anything different. Just
They're not made in the same factory as the other accumulators.
Yeah. So McLaren didn't make this one. So
I wasn't going to say anything.
They have issues with their
Yeah.
Yes, constantly.
Really?
And then they are on the P1, they are specific to that. They're made of carbon fiber, and they're $65,000.
Right. Okay. Well,
Only $65,000.
65 grand. Yeah.
They are now. They went up in price recently.
in the development, the issue we had was that due to the engine vibration and so on, it again, we were speaking about rotation, and also the mass, so it has this brace around it to hold it, and then you have also this lock here to make sure it stays. Yeah. Those were kind of the issues we were fighting, but never that it's...
So you developed this?
Yes.
To literally hold that?
This rod here, and
this one.
This, let's see where it goes. It goes there. Yeah, exactly. That's also for that. That's for the vibration, exactly.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
There's a lot to think about.
Because you have the full.
We don't like really the traditional sort of AN fittings with conical mounts and so on, because if you tighten them too loose, you can have a leak, and if you tighten them too hard, you can have a leak. And they were designed originally for military airplanes that would not have a long service life back in the Second World War or something.
Built to a cost,
Yeah.
Do you guys use any dry brakes or anything like that?
Yeah, we do sometimes in some areas for serviceability.
Yeah.
I love your questions.
Yeah, you asked some very specific questions. We say, hey, that looks shiny.
I don't know if I'll ever be here again, so I'll ask it if I got it,
This is the closest thing to a flywheel we have. It's just the starter ring for the starter motor. And of course, it's not intended as a flywheel, but that's the biggest rotating mass we have in the gearbox. Then you have DLC-coated pinion.
You should build your own car. Looks easy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool, huh?
Oh my god.
Yeah, wait till you see here.
We have a nice show engine. We was waiting for a car show to give me a season with the
Holy.
transmission on it. So this is an exhibition piece we have in the showroom. Normally it's
turbos on the top.
Car show. There you have the carbon fiber port tube mounting the bulldog, as we call it, the dark matter. This little unit here is 600 kilowatts or 800 horsepower. We're now seeing that the next generation in this package we could even hit 1 megawatt.
Wow. All you need is that. You got
it's a very
800 horsepower.
iterative
Daily
opportunity.
drivable, 2,300 horsepower. And this is going to be in a 4-seater car. Well, we know someone getting one. James.
We had to kind of rethink the engine to squeeze it in. The space was originally only intended for the 3-cylinder.
Yeah.
So we had to really
redo the
wrap
whole
everything around itself.
The path that the air has to go is so short.
Yeah.
It goes from here to the intercooler to the turbo, and then that's it.
This spool's about 700 RPM earlier than the Esco. You will drive the C650 today, you don't feel a lag to speak of. This is even faster.
Yeah.
All the controllers in the car are our own. Gearbox, transmission, VCU, ECM, and it's full OBD2 with all the cyber securities. We have over-the-air upgradability of the cars. We have our own cloud. We do our own infotainment. And of course, people say, why do you do all this stuff in-house? You can just buy it. Well, not if you want seamless integration, and not if you want to stay a bit ahead of the curve. You notice you need some things that no one thought about before to make it work, and then we can add it.
I'd love to take you out to dinner and just poke your brain for this. This is crazy.
That was a good question by Tavarish when he was asking, do they do that for serviceability with all the belts and pulleys and stuff like that? And Christian said, yeah, you literally just pull the bucket out, which is the frunk or the trunk, and then all that's exposed. So really easy for someone to work on that car. It's pretty neat. This is like art.
And it's in the absolute same part of the car. Aluminum honeycomb inside the carbon fiber for crash absorption as well.
The cars that you take from the famous viral Koenigsegg testing videos, right? The ones where you're jumping them over speed bumps and purposely bang, bang, bang.
Exactly.
Where do those cars end up?
I mean, they are our test prototypes.
So you always have them.
Yeah, I mean, some of them becomes then crash cars.
Yeah, because you physically have to
crash it from the front, and we check that it's repaired out a bit, crash from the side and the rear, and then roll it over, and then it's not so much left of it after that. So.
Is there a way for a Tavarish to buy one of those?
I'm not trying to, twist your arm or anything on this, and feel free not to. But here I am. If there is a reality in which, I could come to the factory, build something here, with people that know what they're doing. I'm not trying to, put things together with screwdrivers from Home Depot.
Well, who would do that?
Not me. If there's ever any opportunity, where you have a car that's like, I don't know, we just got to throw this thing away. Like, I would love to be a part of that.
We tend to keep our test cars. Sometimes we upgrade them to like tear them down and refresh them from ground up and sell them as like pre-series prototypes and things like that. So
it would be an insanely popular actually series if you shot something like that.
Yeah,
that's like something you sell to like Netflix or Prime.
Right.
I've never seen out of all the cars that have had accidents and have ended up on a second, like a co-part. I've never seen a Koenigsegg. I'm sure that's not by accident.
Knock on wood, most of them stays on the road.
They do.
Most of them. So.
Or they come back here to get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Customer keeps it.
What's interesting here maybe, this is very much a refined version of our suspension system that looks quite similar throughout the years, but we already spoke about the needle bearings here. But you can also see how wide the footprint is on the upper and lower wishbone, so they're super stable. Take up quite a lot of real estate to have this very long, very wide, very lightweight wishbone. Ceramic ball bearings to have less rolling resistance. And all of this is to have maximum control over your tire patch to the ground, that you have no unwanted deviations in cornering or so. We can stay very true to the geometry due to these kind of wide stances that reduces any kind of flex.
So the crash structure, I see that it's carbon fiber, but that goes into, is this
it's machined aluminum frame. Since the Regera, we put rubber bushings on the engine and transmission. Before that, they were actually load carrying members with the suspension off of the transmission with some reinforcement beams. But just to get the noise level down in the car, we put them on active rubber mounts. Well, you can see here, there's a screw here.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah. So then you have like metal inserts into the carbon with thread.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For the contact patch stuff, Christian, do you guys, when you're going to take a car and you want to use a car to create like, a manufacturer's record on a track. Do you swap out any of this, or does it have enough adjustability in it that you can change the camber and toe and all that for the track?
When we did our last record, for example, at UNCENSORED, the only thing we did compared to a normal Saddle Spear was that we hanged a very heavy muffler behind the car to not breach because it was a low decibel day. That was the only day we could get. So we put a big, heavy, nasty mass behind the car to make sure it was slower. That was the only thing. Otherwise, it's bone stop. We didn't have the right tires on the carbon wheels for that day, so we just put on the aluminium wheels. Again, not making the car any faster. It's actually a little bit slower.
And it wasn't really like a planned thing.
No.
We just kind of said to Marcus and went, go for it.
Exactly.
While you're there.
The only person that got a ride that day. A very fast ride.
So as we go down the line, they become more and more complete.
This is insane.
You ask good questions.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
About the place.
Yeah, dude, I made up like half the stuff I said.
The door hinge exposed without the door or anything on it.
Look at the gears.
I know, it's incredible. How do you make that up? You just sleeping one day and woke up in the middle of the night and wrote that out on a piece of paper?
This was an idea. The original idea was even on the first prototype. We had normal door openings on the first prototype in the 90s, and I noticed if you want to park in a parking lot next to other cars, kind of the thickness of the door, since you're sitting centrally and your frontal area needs to be small here for aero, and you need a wide stance for handling, you end up with these wide doors, and then you need to get the door out of the door opening, and then you need to get yourself out, and then the door was way into the car in the other parking space. So I said there must be a way where the door doesn't swing out as much, and still avoiding the sort of Lamborghini style where you have to crawl under the door.
So with the door is in your way.
Exactly. So with this was the only solution I could figure out where you can kind of, without having sort of a small van door or something, which would ruin the look of the car and have other issues.
Just push the buttons.
This was the only way I could sort of figure out how to get it out of the opening, not into the next car,
and then rotate it up.
Exactly.
It's brilliant.
And the first versions, they were really good up until the Esco, but they kind of swung down quite a lot, so you had to watch out for high curbs.
You always had
US
that
curve.
warning.
Exactly.
On the inside of the door.
Then I patented this idea where I twisted you see this is sitting on an angle and that's on an angle, so when it swings out, it moves upwards without adding any components. It's just these axles are just angled compared to each other, so it moves outwards and upwards, so you can clear the curb as well.
And that's only new to the Esco.
Yes, and onwards. So that's
actually
another
really cool.
patent I took that now holds for another 18 years or something.
That's brilliant.
The only weight penalty of the Autoskin in this door hinge is this lightweight actuator here. It's just instead of another gas strap. And then you have these super thin hydraulic lines that hardly weigh anything. And we anyway had a hydraulics on board for the chassis control. So the weight penalty for this robotized bodywork is only a few kilos.
Similar to what you get on like a convertible top.
Yeah. Exactly. Correct.
I see you have lines on the outside here.
Yeah. So those are air conditioning, HVAC, also the pipes from the engine to the front radiator. You can see over here.
There's a lot of cool doors out there.
These are the best.
But I'm going to give it to Christian.
You win that award.
They're the best doors you can get on any car. They're the sickest thing ever.
Very big but hollow, very hollow upright. If you're standing like this and someone pushes you, kind of topple over, but you stand like this.
That's hard.
That's the whole idea, you know. And most of these cars, for packaging reasons, they don't stance out things because it takes space. But we just work around that, as you saw with the Exo system, for example.
That's a good analogy. It's a very martial arts analogy, by the way. These are cool.
You can see how long the wishbone is as well. This type of subframe, which we pre-assemble over there, it's the whole front end of the car. This stems back to the end of the 90s, the first Koenigsegg. We were one of the first, well, I think we were the first ever car which was built in a modular way. So you could assemble the whole front end. It's a clean-cut interface, the whole rear end, and then you have the monocoque in between. That was not how it was done back then. If we can still set records with what we came up with by just refining, why change it?
Oh, 100%.
The reason why I created this originally was I always had the idea of sliding the roof in here, which you can do on the CC850 as well. So we had to package everything very low to be able to do that, and we had to make the dashboard into a bridge construction, so it sits on two pylons to be able to slide the roof in. The downside of that was we packaged everything really low, so we lowered the center of gravity. It's not a downside. Let's say the consequence.
Yes.
It was a headache to do, but then it was an upside that we lowered the center of gravity as well, since we had to squeeze in the roof above. Otherwise, things would probably have sat a little bit higher. Where one needs challenge something, but improves other aspects as a consequence.
Right.
It's a very compact car. I mean, there's
sure.
a very short overhang, and we have to actually use this subframe as part of the crash structure. So you have these initiators.
Yes.
So, and that's how we can fulfill all the safety levels by actually using also the subframe as part of the crash structure.
So these little notches are simply designed to help this as a crumple zone.
Exactly. Correct.
Like electric over hydraulic steering?
It's hydraulic electrics. You have this pump over here, and then it's
and a reservoir somewhere.
hydraulic rack. I would say the new, if you drive a Porsche 911 or something like that, the new electro-powered steering racks are really, really good.
Yeah.
So it's kind of blurring out the difference. But
Was it always your intention in the design to have this style of windscreen?
Yes. That was the first sketch I did, this wraparound. I actually even called the first sketch the visor car. I felt it should be like a helmet, a visor on a helmet. It's an exoskeleton. It should feel like an extension of yourself. You can sense the contact patch of the tire seamlessly into your driving position with as little dilution as possible.
Very cool.
And then you get this really good visibility, driving around corners, really good aero and a distinctive look. This glass is really tricky to manufacture. Because the A-pillar is actually the side of the car. So it's the most wraparound of any glass I've ever seen.
Yeah. So from start to finish, how long would it take to put one of these?
So we have 10 stations, and we move the line forward every third day. So then it takes 30 days to enter and exit, and then you go into PDT, where you then test drive in the PDI and out. So that process is like PDT and PDI is like 1 or 2 weeks, and this is like 30 days.
Do you still do the wiring harness like you did before, where you kind of like lay everything out and
We have a facility 10 minutes away with I think we're like 50 persons making wiring harnesses.
Oh wow!
These are our fuel pump driver modules.
Ooh.
So. And then you have mil-spec connectors on those as well. They're very tiny. We can over-the-air update the fuel pump driver module or a lamp or anything else really.
So the fuel pump driver modules, do they need to be cooled at all? I mean, air cooled?
Yeah, actually, this is pretty cool. So you see they sit on this shroud. I mean, if you could, I don't think you can look inside there, but there are cooling fins going inside the shroud after the intercooler for the fuel pump driver module.
That is cool. I mean, obviously it's cool.
The batteries are in the central tunnel, so to replace them, you need to hoist up the car. But if your battery's dead, then you have a position here where you can jump start. These are probably powder coated. They're custom made for us by PWR in Australia.
They make a ton of really, really good stuff.
Yeah. That's a hydraulic unit there.
Yeah. There's an HKS blow-off valve in this.
Yeah, exactly. They're quite
Sick.
There's an HKS blow. How did I not know that?
Hey man, JDM space.
No, I'm serious. There's an HKS blow. That is crazy. Does anybody know that?
This is not the entire shifting mechanism, but most of it. This is just a holder for assembly.
So it's kind of like that in a Honda Civic.
Well, just put it like this, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. There it is.
To connect it and make it work is another story.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And we have a world record in stopping from 250 miles per hour, so they work really well.
These are 3D printed?
No, they're machined actually. We are looking at 3D printing these things, but if we would 3D print this would be heavier. Sometimes we make these kind of things 3D printed.
I'm trying to guess the spec. Well, Tavarish asked a million questions on how to re-engineer his own Koenigsegg one day.
That's amazing.
And then you have titanium heat shields behind the pads. Yeah, I mean, we do have CNC machines here, but we outsource a lot of machining as well because we just have such a big need.
Yeah.
We have in that room is full of big 3D printers as well. We don't 3D print metal in-house. Yeah. We're looking to do that. But like this airbox here, for example, polypropylene. With fiber reinforcement.
It hurts my brain every time we come here and Christian starts talking because he uses some very big words I've never heard before.
Yep. What's cool about 3D printing is that it allows you to make these shapes that would be impossible to make with traditional methods, traditional fabrication methods. So you're chiseling something out of marble and then you take it out and oh look, it's a part.
Well, what blew me away was when HRE made those damn wheels years ago.
Right.
That first set that they made, and they were like going between each other and all that.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Wow, that was a lot of information. What's cool is how much stuff they actually make themselves. Very little, very, very, very little of this car comes outsourced. They obviously don't make their own turbos because some things like an egg blow-off valve, it's not worth engineering because they just work. Oh yeah, carrot cake. This is the Koenigsegg cafeteria. The employees have a whole kitchen here. You get to come here and order their lunch. They have dessert, sandwiches.
I don't know if you're familiar with the stuff I do. I'm more on the mechanical side.
I saw the P1 and other
real
things.
stupid P1. Yeah.
How's that going?
Good.
Yeah.
So obviously you know how everything goes with all that. But we're redesigning the body, the mechanicals, all the cooling, and getting rid of the hybrid system, and
Should be very lightweight, right?
Yes. So we get rid of like 200 kilos just with the battery alone.
Nice.
Do you use any coatings on the exhaust?
Okay, I can open up the mirror.
Sure.
Here you have a Cerakote. This is a machined aluminum Cerakoted end piece.
Okay.
And here is uncoated titanium, 3D printed.
I've been talking with one of my friends, and they have a coating that goes on very thinly, and they use it on the on rockets.
All right.
So you can put basically 1,000 degrees Celsius on one side, you get like 130 on the other.
That's amazing. It's like aerogel. Or,
Yes. Yeah.
We have that in the Emira actually.
Yeah.
The back wall of the Emira is aerogel.
Oh, very cool.
All our kind of structural carbon is in this case KNC, so it's like wet sanded down to the core of the carbon fiber, no coating.
So
As lightweight as possible. You can see it on the air boxes as well. It's like KNC here as well. You can actually feel the fiber. It's absolutely raw and naked, but you need perfect execution to be able to do that.
That's so I'm also doing exposed carbon body, and it's a crazy amount of work. Just got a quick last question. Have you thought about, and again, I'm sure you have, but using the air conditioning system or like another air conditioning system for cooling?
Exactly. I mean, that's a good idea. Why not? We are not doing that. You don't get the kind of heat sink benefit of a liquid to air system.
Yeah.
But as it is more of a track-oriented car, you kind of get a truer over time intercooler temp. You kind of build up to wherever it needs to be, and then it stays there. While with a water to air, you kind of have this initial big benefit, and then I would say it's heavier, of course. And over time you get there anyway.
So I want to build the fastest McLaren in the world, and to go over 250, which is the speed tail now.
What tires are you going to use?
Well, these are P0s. Like I'll use Cup 2Rs. Something with a little higher load rating. But
what's the weight of the car?
It's probably going to be, I want to say in pounds, like 2850, 2900.
Yeah, it's quite light. The downforce, of course, at high speed. Even if you have a lightweight car, if you have a lot of downforce, you kind of stress the tires from that as well.
Yeah. So we are doing CFD testing on the new new bodywork, and as you know, you have to make sure that the aero in the front and the back is as matched as possible. But then if you're doing top speed, you can't have a lot of downforce. But
so you need bleed off ways of bleeding off, changing rake.
Correct. Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Listen, for YouTube, I should have this done in 30 minutes. Just develop it. Basically, I have to build this in 30 minutes. It wasn't hard to do this, right?
I mean, this platform dates back to the origins of Koenigsegg that's been evolved. Of course, the Gemera is very much from scratch, and it's amazing how true or correct the original ideas were back in the day at the end of the 90s to still stay so relevant with the same kind of packaging today.
Absolutely.
And I think it's more the rest of the industry has moved towards what we are doing than vice versa. I mean, what you see on a lot of cars now, I mean, I invented this anti-sed roll bar in 1997 or something like that. You're starting to see that on other cars because you have fewer mounting points and friction points, and it's lighter than traditional anti-roll bars, and progressive as well. And then the triplex suspension is something we invented for the Agera, and this is the latest iteration now with also spring and active shock and active lifter also on the triplex to hold the platform stable for a lot of downforce, and being able to change the spring rates at different ride heights and also have much more comfort. I think I saw it on the W1 and McLaren. They're also doing it, and some other cars. So
listen, we can go all day on this. I don't want to take up too much of your valuable time, but I appreciate it very, very much. I can't wait to see more of these wonderful cars.
So if you want to feel the shift work, the clutch.
There we are. Okay. So no pressure. Everything here is extremely expensive. So I want to see how this feels. So this is both an automatic and a manual, and that feels really nice. How's it feel? It feels really nice.
Push it down. And then that's reverse. And that's drive. Automatic.
And then clutch is
where the clutch is.
Okay. And that feels light.
Yeah, it's not too heavy.
No, not at all.
Doesn't have to be. So I didn't show you the pedal box yet, but we have a hydraulic element there where we also can sort of tune the feel of it. So
That's so cool, man. Thank you. Having me in it too much more.
it's that.
Make it graceful.
Yeah, I gotta get on all fours. Oh, my back.
It's pretty sick. This is beautiful though with the brown.
So it says Koenigsegg here, and then
Yeah.
I have.
all the
You always double click the buttons, and then it says Saddle Spear here.
And Saddle Spear was named after the horse.
A horse, exactly, a race horse.
If you want to drive it there, and
I'll go with it.
Okay, all right, sounds good.
It's always interesting test. I won't tell you too much and see if you can operate it.
Don't tell him anything.
It's always interesting.
All right, so no pressure,
Yeah, zero pressure actually.
zero pressure.